Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the February 17th Committee of the Whole meeting. I would like to call the meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. And I'd like to call on Councillor Hunt for the land acknowledgement, please.
I would like to acknowledge that the rural municipality of St. Andrews is located on Treaty 1 territory with traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji Cree, Dakota, and Dene people, the national homeland of the Red River Métis. We respect the spirit and the intent of treaties, treaty making, and remain committed to working in partnership with First Nations, Inuit, Métis people in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration.
Thank you. Adoption of the agenda. Motion to adopt the agenda as amended with following additions under in camera 8.3. Councillor Mareki requested a brief update on the meet and greet in the Lord Selkirk School Division event this past Thursday. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Doornbos, seconder, Councillor Hunt. All those in favor? That is carried. Reception of delegations. We don't have any delegations present. Okay.
You have the commissioners
They've canceled.
also, right?
Mhm.
Oh, they're canceled, okay. Commissioners are canceled. Then All-Star or St. Andrews Community Club, did they say what time they're coming?
Believe St. Andrews is coming for 5:45. 5:45. I don't know about All-Star.
Okay, well then, is council okay? We go to the manager reports and then we can do them when they arrive. 5.1, January 2026 monthly managed reports. Does anybody have any questions? Councilor Slaker?
My question is for the deputy CEO. I noticed on your report, you mentioned that you went to the legislative for the Captain Kennedy House. How did that go?
Okay, the mayor was there. We met with the deputy minister. And we had a discussion on the tender that was being placed and there were some avenues that they were following through with Red River Tourism about working to do the cultural component of that.
And it's still under discussion
But why is it under discussion?
because Captain Kennedy House is a huge part of our.
Because the minister requested we come meet with him.
Because we asked for that meeting, because we didn't,
No, we didn't.
the government gave
No,
out
no,
the tender.
excuse me. No, whoa. The minister asked us for the meeting. The minister sent the request.
Still in camera, Councilor Slaker.
What do you
There
mean?
will be a full report. The negotiations are still going. That minister requested a meeting. That's where we're there. It's still under negotiation. It's still in camera.
Okay, but it was announced that they gave the tender to a
You are
private business.
discussing in-camera information and we will move on to the next matter. Are there any other further questions, Councilor Doornbos?
I think or had suggested at one point in time that some of this bylaw stuff be, in the long PDF, I did notice that the animal control report is still in here. Is that something we wanted to think of putting under, the bylaw report as well, as just combining the two? There's some stuff in here like, locations, you can kind of figure out where this is. And, I know if someone had an animal control issue on me, I'd be kind of like, oh, well, why is the report on here? They can kind of tell possibly who this person is or where they are. Postal codes are in here, everything, so.
Yeah, that's privacy information. That's a breach. And thank you for bringing that up because I was going to bring up last meeting or the meeting before in the reports, where it's in the bylaw report, it had addresses listed, one of them being mine. I immediately phoned Jordan to find out, am I being investigated? Turns out if you file, what do you call it? Service tracker. Well, I use my address, but in the body of it, I give what properties pertain to. That's what gets recorded on here. Well, it's not right that the public should see personal addresses on. That's a breach of privacy. And I noticed on this one, on the January 2026 updated, it's now added, well, that's Lockville, but it has the address, but it has Ward 4, Ward 5. And that's all this should state.
I'd be okay with just having the board.
Yeah, well, because I asked once before to have all this stuff into one locked area so we can kind of view it ourselves. Instead of having everyone, taking a peek at it, which is sometimes not in the best interest. So I just noticed that this was on there again. I just wanted to make sure that it was gonna go into the locked portion of it as well.
Yeah, but I think there should be no addresses at all. You're right, the public sees it.
So
There's no reason for an address. We're not bylaw officers. You have what ward? If it's something pertaining bylaw, we'll contact the counselor. But which page are you looking at?
I'm looking at, let me get back in there again.
Are you on the January 20?
I'm on the management reports and it just has the animal control, right? I think it's under Peterson here. Oh, no. Yeah, it's under the 2025 call report, fire. So it should have been 2026 probably. Fire, but yeah, it's this animal control report in there.
Okay,
So,
I'm still seeing that.
It doesn't have the address, it has the protocol.
Yeah, so anyways, sometimes when you read through these things, there's just stuff in there that's probably should just be private.
Whatever the directive is of council, that's okay.
Well, I would think if it just says the ward number, that's it. Councilor Ryan?
Under Public Works, can we get a little bit more detailed update report rather than just a repetitive? It's kind of still maintaining the landfills 5 days a week and compacting as needed. Tree maintenance, remove trees when needed is the same. I'd like to know a little bit more about winter maintenance and how many, not so much overtime, but I know it's been a strenuous year. We haven't had them in a long time, but rain and everything else and salt and sand and just look more detailed so the public sees it. Thank you.
Oh. The deer is right with the deer. That's your window.
Oh, goodness.
There's a.
That's a herd.
Councilor Slaker?
The other one I had a question about, and maybe it's for the CAO, is there's 4 or 5 managers that talk about the bridge. But that's not going anywhere until you get funding, so I'm kind of curious why it's always, why is it on every report? Put it away until we find out if we get funding, is where my mind thought went to that.
Well, because we're applying for grants, more grants. It's still on the radar, but we're not doing anything with that unless we get grants, so.
Yeah, but it's on, I think, 3 people's report shows up on.
Okay, we can take that off.
I mean, I get it, once we get the money, we'll go, but as far as I know, we don't have the money, and the last time we heard West St. Paul had no interest in it with us, so. I'm not too sure why it keeps appearing.
Well, I think the reports to outline for all of the staff what we're doing on a daily basis, and just because, it's still on there doesn't mean that it's necessarily, that people aren't spending time doing grant applications or making phone calls or things like that. So when I'm filling out my report, it's basically what am I spending my time doing? What are the things that I'm tackling, right? So I realize sometimes some of the reports get very repetitive. And it's because we're working on a lot of stuff that lasts for months or more, right? So I understand where you're coming because you're seeing the same thing. But when I'm filling out mine, I know it's just because I do spend time on these items.
Any other questions? Okay, I see. Sorry, Jennifer, we moved ahead. But you can come forward. Jennifer Rexner is here for St. Andrews Community Club as a delegation. Welcome.
Is this where I go or there?
Yeah.
Here?
I
Okay.
just can turn on the microphone.
Sure. I can talk loud too.
I have a PowerPoint to
Okay.
pull up there and
Okay.
share it too. So-
Perfect.
Oh, we are already.
We're on? Okay.
Yeah, just give me a minute or two
Sure.
to get it on the screen. Okay.
Okay.
You're ready.
All right, perfect. Thank you for having us here today. Troy and Jason may be popping in here shortly, but we're going to begin anyways. So we were invited to come talk today just to present to everybody about, give you an update and discuss a request that we have. So we'll start with a financial update. So these finances have been provided. Next slide. Thank you. These finances have been provided already this fiscal. So I'm not going to go through line by line, but just a few of the key highlights here on the side. Our revenues have increased over the past few years. Our board is focused on maximizing our usage of the ice and of the hall. We've continued to focus on programming, community involvement. We've increased focus on advertising and sponsorships. Expenses are variable. Our equipment is dated. We do have a lot of repairs that come up that are quite frequent. This weekend, our well went, or one of our wells went, so we had to do a real quick fix Sunday night, Monday morning. That took a lot of volunteers and our staff coming to the rescue. So that's just one example that can happen where you think everything is going great and suddenly you have no water, which would have meant that our arena would have been shut down for the day. We would have lost thousands of dollars. So luckily we were able to get that up and running thanks to the fire department who came and helped us out, and then our contractors. So depreciation is a proxy for maintenance expense. The club is constantly short on cash generating to maintain the club properly. So this is not what I'm looking at. Here we go. Okay, our balance sheet. So basically what we'll highlight here is we do have funds, we do have reserve funds. So we want to, our goal is to maintain $100,000. We're slightly over that right now for our reserve funds. And then we do have our operational funds separate and apart from that, that helps us pay for these upcoming things like the well, you know, $2,500, $5,000, those kinds of things we take from there with the goal to maintain that $100,000 so that in the event that our Zamboni goes or something like that, that we can act quickly. But it does put us in a position where we can't take on too big of projects because we don't have a large revenue, you know, sitting there to access. Just an update on the operations side. We have 22 staff from the community. We hire a lot of young people, a lot of first jobs. We've seen a significant number of unexpected major projects that have consumed a large part of our cash. I talked about the well. Earlier this season, we had a broken line in the ice that happened while we were repairing the boards. We have implemented using an app to sell unsold ice, but we are at 90% sold throughout the year. So this is a majority of our revenue is coming from our ice sales that way. So we are looking good there. We will be running our summer camps again, looking at tournaments coming up, additional community events that we've engaged new volunteers in the last year. So that's always exciting. Trying new things, art shows. We have the Skate with Santa, things like that. We recently launched a new initiative for women and girls in sport. We had a really great event last weekend. We were really pleased about engaging new volunteers with that, as well as you know, the ongoing support from the RM staff. The recreation team was fantastic. It was an all-day event. We had, lots of families come and go. They had breakfast. We had try new sports, new activities, those kinds of things. And we raised a couple $1,000s that will go towards bursaries for girls and women in sport across the lifespan. So also recognizing, the RM's, goals around, aging populations, things like that. We really want to be inclusive. So we're really, really happy about that event and the outcome. We also have a fundraising committee that's been renewed, which is very exciting because there hasn't been a committee in a few years. And we will be rolling out a fundraising strategy, a more detailed fundraising strategy this spring to align with some of the bigger projects that we're wanting to propose to the community. A couple other things about, in terms of those major projects or things that you've probably seen and heard about here already. Since 2020, there's been a tremendous push to revive our club, not just the programming and the aesthetics, but also the relationships with community, working towards transparency, building that rapport, building that trust, building that transparency. So really want to commend the previous board and all the work that they've done. And then certainly in 2025, we saw a big transition in our board. A few people had termed out. We had new people come on and a shift of roles. So that's been fairly seamless, which is commendable. Some of the things that have happened, so improved lighting throughout the club, improved signage. We did pickleball courts in the spring and summer this past year. The new bleachers, if you've been, looks beautiful, works really great. New canteen equipment, so freezers, slushy machines, a new fryer, grills, things like that. But also most recently did the cabinets on the inside, which not a lot of people can see, but it was a really exciting project to do. It looks wonderful. It's completely functional. It's great. And we're really excited to, again, open up that space during the off season when the canteen is closed. Community can come, use that space. We can look at new programmings, things like that. Also new tables, seating, viewing area, all in the canteen, new paint, everything looks great. We were able to use contractors, local contractors and volunteers to do these projects, which is an added bonus, of course. We've worked on our website. So our website and our social media increased in a few hundred followers since the spring. But beyond that, just the percentage of engagement in terms of likes, shares, relikes, comments, the questions that we get direct has been up times a few 100%, which is really great in terms of social media engagement. We've hired a facility manager. This is a full-time position. This is something that we are using our revenue from to fund right now. And it's going really well to have that dedicated person there day in, day out, take care of the scheduling for the other ice technicians and things like that. It's a huge help in terms of consistency, but also thinking sustainability wise. Currently, it's rested on the shoulders of board members, which is not always a long-term solution. So we're really working towards increasing the sustainability on that front. We have made amendments and modernization of the Constitution, so of our policies, bylaws, things like that, that we'll be looking at our upcoming AGM. And of course, like I've mentioned, working on those relationships with community and other partners, which has all been going really great. So much so that we were recognized for the 2025 Manitoba Recreation Facility Award, which is phenomenal. Again, when these types of things happen, just the outpour of support from the community has been really encouraging, really motivating. As at the board, we're really feeling the momentum and the support of our community. So we're excited for that. We'll be attending a luncheon next week to receive that award formally. So that brings us to our request. I'm going to get to our actual request, but I would be remiss not to mention this as well. So earlier this year in fall of 2025, actually, we did make a request for an increase to our operational grant. We depend on that grant just for the day-to-day operations. But like I said, the increasing cost of maintenance and operations of our building continues to increase. So we made the request, to see the operational grant relative to our needs. We were asked for some more information in terms of stats and data and things like that, which is really difficult to come up with because we weren't measuring it and collecting it to begin with. So it's certainly something that we can look forward to, and we are looking forward to hopefully some amendments to funding policies, which I understand are before the council now. And so we would definitely be supportive to see amendments to those policies that would allow groups like ourselves to request additional funds than the 50,000 to meet the needs of the operations, whether it be annually or spread out over 2 years or more, or whatever it may be. But I really wanted to mention that, of course, we would benefit from that, and we did make a request earlier. Bringing me to my next request on that theme. This spring, we will be launching a new large project. This would be similar to the large project of the bleachers. This is called the Dasher Board Project. That means this is a complete renewal of all the arena boards and the safety glass around. So the current arena boards do not meet modern safety and functionality needs. Now, I'm not a hockey player, so I can't speak specifically to that experience. But what we're hearing is, the gates are sometimes dangerous. There's a risk there. The boards are really wobbly. They're starting to rot at the bottom. They need to be replaced. These are original to the facility. We did explore repair options. So we did have contractors come in. We looked at, our vision was we could enlist the support of the community to help take things down and repair and rebuild and all those kinds of things, which we were thinking might cost us in around the 100 to 150,000. When we gathered more information and had other experts and contractors come in, we realized that was not realistic, wasn't feasible. It does need to be a full repair in order to be safe and functional and sustainable in the long term. So this would include, like I said, the full repair of the boards, the benches, the gates, and then the glass all the way around, which would be a seamless safety glass for viewing. We did get quotes on this, so we were quoted at about $250,000 for the whole project. We have applied for grants so looking at that number or aiming for that 250 to 300 number, we've applied to the RM for the capital grant for 50,000. We've applied to Manitoba Liquor Lotteries for 30,000. That was just recent. And then also a provincial grant for $100,000. It's from the ground up grant. So if we were successful in all three of those grants in 2026, we would have about 180,000 funded through grants. Like I've mentioned, we are rolling out a strategic fundraising plan that would include, events, fundraiser events, but also really honing in on the sponsorship and donors. And we do have dedicated volunteers who have already initiated that process, so we'll continue, our efforts in that area. And aside from that, we do have funds like our reserve fund, but like I said, we really need to maintain that 100,000. We can't dip into that. That would just put us at risk if something happened, not being able to open next year. So it's, but we are generating revenue, and increasingly so year after year. So we know that we do have revenue coming in. So what we're requesting is a loan. This would be a loan that would bridge us so that we could commit to contractors so that we could get this project going in over the summer and have it ready for the new season. Get that going for the new season. We have full confidence that we'll be able to make the repayment of the loan. Like I've mentioned, we do have a plan. We have applications in for grants already. We are actively continuing to explore grant options and pursuing grant writing. We do have the dedicated fundraising committee that's working on the strategy, and this will be rolled out in the spring. And then, of course, if it came down to, payments over a period of time, whether 1 or 2 years, we have full confidence that our revenue would be able to support a repayment plan. The RM does have a history of supporting the club and providing sort of this bridge loan in order to finance contractors. So I think it was 2008 or 2010. The RM loaned the club over $200,000 for a project that was being done there. When I looked at the proposal there, it talked about the list of the grants and things that the club had applied for, what their plan was, and then a repayment plan of a couple of years. I think we've demonstrated, certainly in the last 5 years, financial stability, financial growth. And we're, confident that this is something that we can do. This would just allow us to be able to commit and actually do the project. It is time limited. It's not something we can do piece by piece. It has to happen when the ice is out. Questions?
Councillor Hunt?
What about our community foundation? Southern District Community Foundation, we have our St. Andrews Fund as well as the foundation accepts
Yes.
applications for these kind of projects.
For sure. So we did apply and we were successful in a grant just in 2025. So we are eligible again. We can reapply in the fall of next year or this year. Yeah.
But we have our St. Andrews Fund too,
Okay.
which is meant for business like
For this.
activities in St. Andrews.
Okay.
Over and above the community foundation as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So look into that.
Yeah.
Councillor, Deputy Mayor Murphy.
Yeah, hi, and welcome, congratulations on your management award for 2025. What I do sense from you is a little bit of a sense of urgency in
Yes.
this matter.
Yeah.
Can I summarize it that way?
Yeah, for sure.
This is something that.
For sure. It's time limited because it's seasonal work that we do, right? So we want to be prepared in order for the boards and the glass to arrive here, in order to be installed during our off season. We need to commit in March, in a couple of weeks in order for the materials to actually make it here. So certainly there is that sense of urgency, and otherwise we're waiting until next year. The risk of waiting is that this year it costs us $8,000 to $10,000 to replace something on the boards in the just to have it fixed temporarily.
Okay,
right?
so if I understand you correctly, what you're saying is saying that the boards are in need of repair. You're doing piecemeal projects, and really you're spending money that you're not throwing away money, but you're not getting a real benefit from it, because down the road they need to be replaced.
For sure. Yeah, it's Band-Aid solution right now.
Yeah, okay, it's another way. But
Yeah.
Councillor Dornbach.
Jennifer, what's the longevity of those new seamless boards? Like, do you know, is there 20 years, 25, 30?
Do we know a number?
Definitely 20 to 30. Oh,
Possibly longer. Sorry, yeah.
Thanks, right?
20 to 30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 to 30?
Yeah.
Okay. And typically those grants that you applied for, you almost need to be, let's say, shovel ready before they want to give these things to you too. So you
That's
almost have
right.
to take the boards out, spend the $150,000 or whatever, the $250,000, get the boards in, and then they'll be like, oh.
Then the repayments there for sure. Yeah. And to have the quotes that are relevant for that year, because we've had this project quoted a year or 2 years ago at a different number because the cost of materials are different and all those kinds of things. But when the board went to secure the finance, grants didn't come in and couldn't afford it at that time. So that project was put to the side. So.
See, and I think, we'd have to refer this to our Director of Finance. Because in your new council, in the past, we had given a loan to Little Britain Community Club, it was either their roof or hall renovations, and it was on a repayment plan. And they paid it back.
Mhm.
You're waiting for, the new board is excellent. You're busy, you're doing so much good there. So I don't know, what steps do we take now?
Oh, what we could do is we can have Terry, look into it and how we could do this, and then we can come back to council on a regular meeting with, a report and for a resolution.
And like for repayment of the loan,
Mhm.
okay?
And how long would that be for repayment? What was your plan for that?
The plan would be 2 years, give us a 2-year window, likely, before that, like I said, just because we are actively pursuing grants.
So if you put the new boards in and the
Mm-hmm.
new glass in, would you be able to have a longer season?
Potentially. I mean, we have people asking if we could stay open. And if then over the spring and summer, if there's other, activities, ball, hockey, things like that, people are definitely interested in doing it, which is again, why we want to, fully commit and get it done so that we can utilize that arena year round.
Excellent. Deputy Mayor Markey, get your hand up? Councilor Wonder, did you have your hand up?
No.
Okay, Councilor Schleicher?
Congratulations on your award. I did a happy dance for you when I read that.
Thank you.
I want to commend you all on the great work that you're doing. I've been in there a few times now and it looks fantastic. I have lots of friends who have young kids that are in and out of it, and it's great conversation. And I think that your approach to this, and I would be more than willing to help you get to this done.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
Are there any other further questions?
So just to comment again,
Yeah.
yeah, so you have how much money in now through grants?
So we've applied for up to 180,000 right now. We will find out in May of this year on, we'll know for sure on all 3 of those applications by May.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the chances of that is probably pretty good, and I don't know when the
Hopeful.
intake for the community foundation one
Right.
are.
We'll look into that and definitely get something in. Yeah.
And
So that's the thing. If they, if we have this loan, it's, the repayment will be as soon as we get the grants, we
Right.
will repay it. Yeah.
but in saying that, you can't wait until May till the grants come in
That's right.
to be able to.
That's right.
To commit to the board, so that's
That's
where we
right.
come in, and I'm 100% in support of that too, and great
Thank you.
presentation, so.
Thank you.
It's almost like the last piece of the puzzle. Everything
Yeah.
else is pretty much done. The locker rooms. and
Yeah. It's looking really good.
Cafeteria and the chairs and everything. It just looks great. So you guys did a great job.
Well, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Jennifer, for a great presentation.
Thank you.
and Thanks to all of you guys for what you're doing. Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, next, Chelsea Bolo, All-Star Environment. You're the next foundation. Welcome, Chelsea.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good, thanks.
Good. So yeah, I'm Chelsea. I'm with All Star. Most of us know All Star for like all of our septic pump outs that we've been offering in the area, but we're looking to expand into garbage pickup for St. Andrews. So with that, we were doing more research to be able to make it affordable for the St. Andrews residents. So right now, the dump has a set fees for different, like for businesses that come through. So for 14-foot trailers, it's a $20 fee. And then as soon as you get up to tandems, it's a $100 fee. So with that, our unit is a 16-foot dump trailer on a truck. So it's not a big compactor. South St. Andrews has 2 contractors that are currently doing private garbage pickup. They both have big compactors and they pay $100 for to bring it to the dump. With the fees with my trailer, they would want to be charging the same thing. Now our trailer only fits about 1/10 of what they fit. So this is just a note for after, but that's for the tipping fees. I should have started. The main goal of me coming here today is I don't want St. Andrews residents to be double paying for the dump services. So when we have to pay for a tipping fee, then we then have to charge it back to the customers. Now, St. Andrews residents already have the garbage use landfill passes put into their taxes. They have full access to the dumps. But if they want this private pickup, then we get charged on top of that. So the proposal, I guess, that we have is to adjust the tipping fees or to be able to provide some sort of receipt to the St. Andrews members to our customers, that they can then get a rebate for on their taxes or something where they don't have to be paying twice.
I'm sorry, could you say again, what are you paying now? You're doing this already?
Not yet, no, we haven't started officially, but I was talking to the attendant and with the dump passes that like the pricings that's listed up, they're wanting to charge $100 for our trailer, which is the same price as the big compactors that the other companies use.
I see Peter was online there. Is he saying anything to add to this or?
No, it's a delegation.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess I kind of have a question for you guys because I've been kind of going back and forth with Peter on this about either lowering like fees for us or being able to provide receipts for residents. But it's always just been getting shut down. So is there, I guess, a reason as to why it's getting shut down and why we're double charging residents, or I don't know.
I guess the history probably goes back 10, 15 years ago. Why there's a charge to these contractors, which she's right. Residents already are paying for that to go to the landfill, just more convenient for them. But we had some operators years ago that were bringing lots of garbage in from across the river, coming into St. Andrews, stopping at one or two places, and it was watched by the bylaw. And so that was council's decision at the time to prevent these people from coming in, because if they took it to St. Clements, they had to pay for it because of the landfill there has tipping fees, like it's a commercial landfill. So that's the history of the charging of the tipping fees for the landfills. Like the two campgrounds to the north of us here, they pay because a lot of people sometimes bring their garbage from the city and they don't pay taxes. They pay $100 a year trailer fee at Chesley's and the other campground. So that was kind of the reasons why those ones are $100 each. But we charge these fees. There should be some review on these fees, similar to what we charge for taking in demolition into the landfill that we end up burning. It's because we did that because there was contractors coming in from Winnipeg, and if they took it back to Winnipeg or BFI, they'd have to pay for it. And a lot of cases they were charging customers here for it, saying they're going to dispose of it, or coming in from other municipalities and dropping it off because we didn't have tipping fees.
Well, what we can do is, this is a delegation today, we can come back to the council and same matter as the St. Andrews Community Center, we can come back and we can discuss, tipping and tipping fees and those type of things, right?
So that's what I was wondering, if Peter knew the history of the tipping fees, of why they come into effect, because there's no, and that was the reason for bringing them in, because we had bylaws sitting at number 4 bridge, following the truck in, and you go pick up 1 or 2 spots and then go to our landfill.
Yeah, well, I would think control of what's coming in is an issue, and there's pros and cons, so we can bring it back to council with the discussion and have a resolution for what council would like us to do.
Yeah.
Today's more information.
And a recommendation that it is not fair if you do have the compactor truck, and even that one, people are already paying for the taxes in their taxes to go to the landfill. It's more convenient, Anyway, it just bring council up to history of the reason for that tipping fee of years and years ago, and it's probably never ever been readdressed.
It's Peter talking. So I've been going back and forth with email with Chelsea on this issue, and so I kind of see it from both sides. I wanted to bring it to council just to have potentially an open discussion about some opinions, because it doesn't look like we have a mechanism to refund if we go that way where we waive the fee for commercial operators to take the garbage to the landfill. I don't believe we have a mechanism to reimburse the residents for that service.
Today's a delegation, so I mean, this is a discussion we would have at,
Yeah. I just
with
want
the report.
to bring up some history on it and see why, and then it'll add to the conversation and the decision that we make.
Okay, that works for
Thank
me.
you for coming forward.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Recognize you.
It's nice to see you again. Thank you. I'll come a little more prepared for next time, but thank you.
Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We have no old business, new business. Red River Basin Commission 2026 grant contribution. I believe this is on here for information.
Yeah, information,
I don't know the budgets.
it hasn't changed.
The AMM letter, that's from a resolution brought forward in 2017. Funding opportunity, workshops for information, River Road North repairs. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Marecki. You've been working with the residents quite for some time on this. This was a petition put forward, but now that the road repairs is included in the budget to be done, we are accepting the petition as information. Because it will be done this year.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if I could just make a comment to that, first of all, I'd like to acknowledge the two residents on River Road, Alan Buss and Curtis Granger, who actually put this petition together for council. I guess we're putting the horse in front of the cart, so to speak. Yeah, the petition is has been gathered by them. We've already made some preliminary adjustments to the road repair. Nevertheless, I'm going to be presenting council with the petition, and thank you for their input.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next item, we have it in camera. Motion that council move in camera at 6:13 PM. To discuss matters that are in preliminary stages and respecting which discussion in public could prejudice the municipality's ability to carry out its activities or negotiations, as well as legal and personnel issues. And be it further resolved that the members of council agree to keep in confidence matter that is discussed at a meeting that is closed to the public under subsection 152(3), and that the committee decides to keep confidential until the matter is discussed at a meeting of the council or of a committee conducted in public. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Doornbos, seconder. Councillor Schleicher. All those in favor? Unanimous, that is carried. Be it resolved, we will vote in camera at 6:49 PM. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Schleicher, seconder. Councillor Hunt. All those in favor? That is unanimous, that is carried. Motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:49 PM. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Doornbos, seconder. Councillor Schleicher. All those in favor? Unanimous, that is carried. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.